Rune 45 of the Kalevala. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Kalewala, compiled by Elias Lönnrot, translated by John Martin Crawford. Rune 45. Birth of the 9 Diseases. Louhi, hostess of the Northland, heard the word in Sariola, heard the news with ears of envy, that Wainola lives and prospers, that Osmoinen's wealth increases, through the ruins of the Sampo, ruins of the Lidin colors. Thereupon her wrath she kindled, well considered, long reflected, how she might prepare destruction for the people of Wainola, for the tribes of Kalevala. With this prayer she turns to Ukko. Thus entreats the god of thunder: Ukko, thou who art in heaven, help me slay Wainola's people with thine iron hail of justice, with thine arrows tipped with lightning, or from sickness let them perish, let them die the death deserving, let the men die in the forest, and the women in the hurdles. The blind daughter of Tuoni, old and wicked witch Loviatar, worst of all the Deathland women, ugliest of Mana's children, source of all the host of evils, all the ills and plagues of Northland, black in heart and soul and visage, evil genius of Lapala, made her couch along the wayside, on the fields of sin and sorrow, turned her back upon the east wind, to the source of stormy weather, to the chilling winds of morning. When the winds arose at evening, heavy laden grew Loviatar, through the east wind's impregnation, on the sand plains vast and barren. Long she bore her weight of trouble, many morns she suffered anguish, till at last she leaves the desert, makes her couch within the forest, on a rock upon the mountain, labors long to leave her burden by the mountain springs and fountains, by the crystal waters flowing, by the sacred stream and whirlpool, by the cataract and fire stream, but her burden does not lighten. Blind Loviatar, old and ugly, knew not where to look for succor, how to loose her weight of sorrow, where to lay her evil children. Spake the highest from the heavens, these the words of mighty Ukko: Is a triangle in Swampfield, near the border of the ocean, in the never pleasant Northland, in the dismal Sariola? Thither go, and lay thy burden, in Pohjola leave thine offspring. There the Laplanders await thee, there will bid thy children welcome. Thereupon the blind Loviatar, blackest daughter of Tuoni, Mana's old and ugly maiden, hastened on her journey northward, to the chambers of Pohjola, to the ancient halls of Louhi, there to lay her heavy burdens, there to leave her evil offspring. Louhi, hostess of the Northland, old and toothless witch of Pohja, takes Loviatar to her mansion. Silently she leads the stranger to the bathrooms of her chamber, pours the foaming beer of barley, lubricates the bolts and hinges, that their movements may be secret, speaks these measures to Loviatar: Faithful daughter of creation, thou most beautiful of women, first and last of ancient mothers, hasten on thy feet to ocean, to the ocean's centre hasten, take the sea foam from the waters, take the honey of the mermaids, and anoint thy sacred members, that thy labors may be lightened. Should all this be unavailing, Ukko, thou who art in heaven, hasten hither, thou art needed. Come thou to thy child in trouble, help the helpless and afflicted. Take thy golden colored scepter, charm away opposing forces, strike the pillars of the stronghold, open all resisting portals, that the great and small may wander from their ancient hiding places, through the courts and halls of freedom. Finally the blind Loviatar, wicked witch of Tuonela, was delivered of her burden, laid her offspring in the cradle, underneath the golden covers. Thus at last were born 9 children, in an evening of the summer, from Loviatar, blind and ancient, ugly daughter of Tuoni. Faithfully the Virgin Mother guards her children in affection, as an artist loves and nurses what his skilful hands have fashioned. Thus Loviatar named her offspring: Colic, pleurisy, and fever, ulcer, plague, and dread consumption, gout, sterility, and cancer. And the worst of these 9 children blind Lowyatar quickly banished, drove away as an enchanter, to bewitch the lowland people, to engender strife and envy. Louhi, hostess of Pohjola, banished all the other children to the fog point in the ocean, to the island forest covered, banished all the fatal creatures, gave these wicked sons of evil to the people of Wainola, to the youth of Kalevala, for the Kalus tribe's destruction. Quick Wainola's maidens sicken, young and aged, men and heroes, with the worst of all diseases, with diseases new and nameless, sick and dying is Wainola. Thereupon old Wainamoinen, wise and wonderful enchanter, hastens to his people's rescue, hastens to a war with Manna, to a conflict with Tuoni, to destroy the evil children of the evil maid Lowyatar. Wainamoinen heats the bathrooms, heats the blocks of healing sandstone, with the magic wood of Northland, gathered by the sacred river. Water brings in covered buckets from the cataract and whirlpool, brooms he brings enwrapped with ermine, well the bath the healer cleanses, softens well the brooms of birchwood. Then a honey heat he wakens, fills the rooms with healing vapors, from the virtue of the pebbles, glowing in the heat of magic. Thus he speaks in supplication: "Come, O Ukko, to my rescue, God of mercy, lend thy presence, give these vapor baths new virtues, grant to them the powers of healing, and restore my dying people, drive away these fell diseases, banish them to the unworthy, let the holy sparks enkindle, keep this heat in healing limits, that it may not harm thy children, may not injure the afflicted. When I pour the sacred waters on the heated blocks of sandstone, may the water turn to honey, laden with the balm of healing. Let the stream of magic virtues ceaseless flow to all my children, from this bath enrolled in sea moss, that the guiltless may not suffer, that my tribe folk may not perish, till the Master gives permission, until Ukko sends his minions, sends diseases of his choosing, to destroy my trusting people. Let the hostess of Pohjola, wicked witch that sent these troubles, suffer from a gnawing conscience, suffer for her evil doings. Should the Master of Wainola lose his magic skill and weaken, should he prove of little service, to deliver from misfortune, to deliver from these evils, then may Ukko be our healer, be our strength and wise physician. Omnipresent God of mercy, thou who livest in the heavens, hasten hither, thou art needed, hasten to thine ailing children, to observe their cruel tortures, to dispel these fell diseases, drive destruction from our borders. Bring with thee thy mighty fire sword, bring to me thy blade of lightning, that I may subdue these evils, that these monsters I may banish. Send these pains and ills and tortures to the empire of Tuoni, to the kingdom of the east winds, to the islands of the wicked, to the caverns of the demons, to the rocks within the mountains, to the hidden beds of iron, that the rocks may fall and sicken, and the beds of iron perish. Rocks and metals do not murmur at the hands of the invader. Torture, daughter of Tuoni, sitting on the mount of anguish, at the junction of 3 rivers, turning rocks of pain and torture, turn away these fell diseases through the virtues of the bluestone, lead them to the water channels, sink them in the deeps of ocean, where the winds can never find them, where the sunlight never enters. Should this prayer prove unavailing, O health virgin, maid of beauty, come and heal my dying people, still their agonies and anguish, give them consciousness and comfort, give them healthful rest and slumber. These diseases take and banish, take them in thy copper vessel, to thy eaves within the mountains, to the summit of the pain rock, hurl them to thy boiling cauldrons. In the mountain is a touchstone, lucky stone of ancient story, with a hole bored through the center. Through this pour these pains and tortures, wretched feelings, thoughts of evil, human ailments, days unlucky, tribulations and misfortunes, that they may not rise at evening, may not see the light of morning. Ending thus, old Wainamoinen, the eternal, wise enchanter, rubbed his sufferers with balsams, rubbed the tissues, red and painful, with the balm of healing flowers, balsams made of herbs enchanted, sprinkled all with healing vapors, spake these words in supplication: "Ukko, thou who art in heaven, God of justice and of mercy, send us from the east a rain cloud, send a dark cloud from the northwest, from the north let fall a third one, send us mingled rain and honey, balsam from the great physician, to remove this plague of Northland. What I know of healing measures only comes from my Creator. Lend me, therefore, of thy wisdom, that I may relieve my people, save them from the fell destroyer. If my hands should fall in virtue, let the hands of Ukko follow. God alone can save from trouble. Come to us with thine enchantment, speak the magic words of healing, that my people may not perish. Give to all alleviation from their sicknesses and sorrows. In the morning, in the evening, let their wasting ailments vanish. Drive the death child from Wainola, never more to visit Northland, never in the course of ages, never while the moonlight glimmers over the lakes of Kalevala." Wainamoinen the enchanter, the eternal wisdom singer, thus expelled the 9 diseases, evil children of Loviatar, healed the tribes of Kalevala, saved his people from destruction. End of Rune 45. Recording by Sonja.